Hi, I'm Amber Maud Kathy here at Nashville Vocal Studio, and today I wanted to give you some physical stretches that are beneficial to us as singers all the time, but they are especially beneficial to us right now as most of us are online, hunched over devices so much more than we normally are. And so I talk a lot about the need to be tension-free and find that tension and release it as a singer, specifically in the jaw and the tongue. But it's all these muscles in the neck and the shoulders and our traps and all of those muscles, if they are tight, that go right up and feed all these other muscles that we really need to have free and flexible for our best singing. So I like to start all of my lessons and all of my sessions with some shoulder rolls. So we're going to start there. So we're just going to do a handful of shoulder rolls back. And know with any of these exercises, one, do them at your pace. You can take as many as you need. Now we're going to do shoulder rolls forward. And the other thing is you can be doing some vocal warm-ups, some humming, some slides while you are stretching if you're short on time. So we're going to do as many of those as you need. I like to do a bunch. I carry a ton of tension in my neck and shoulders, but I find I am carrying even much more these days for a number of reasons. Stress about everything we're dealing with, and just the fact that I'm looking at a device most of all day, every day. So the second thing that I want to do are some neck and shoulder rolls. I'm not going to put my head all the way back. I'm going to do a fluid motion down into one side and down into the other side. So they just look like this. And I do a whole bunch of these too. These feel fantastic. And again, these are especially beneficial for singers, but they're great for all of us. And we're going to pick a side and we're going to let our head hang out. All I'm doing is kind of letting my head hang out, think ear to shoulder. And that feels fantastic. You want to get that initial stretch first. Then I want you to take the hand that's the direction your head is hanging. I don't want you to push or pull because these are some pretty sensitive muscles. All I want you to do is take your hand and you're going to set it on top. And just the extra weight of your hand is going to even further deepen that stretch. And it's deep enough that I don't want you to just jerk your head up. I want you to kind of keep your head where it is. Then when you're ready, you're going to take your hand off and you're going to help your head up. Then always this neck side feels so much tighter once we kind of actually feel what that nice stretched out side feels like. So we're going to let it hang to the other side. And remember, we're just thinking ear to shoulder. And we're going to get that initial stretch first. And then whenever you are ready, you're going to take the hand that's the direction your head's hanging and you're just going to set it on top. And again, you're not going to push or pull. It's just that little extra weight gives you an even deeper stretch. And you're going to take your hand and you're going to help your head up. I usually do a couple more of my shoulder rolls then because I just kind of become aware of kinks that I didn't even realize I had at first. The next thing we're going to do is really focus specifically on these neck muscles. I have got to come up with a classier way to say this, but what I say to my singers is take your nose and think about putting it in your armpit. So we are going to do nose to my left armpit. And this is all you're going to do. And even though it is not the classiest explanation, it is a really beneficial stretch. All of these neck muscles, I can feel it from the insertion here all the way down my shoulder. And again, hold it as long as you need. I'm going to come back to neutral for our purposes, and then we're going to go nose towards the other armpit. And then I'm going to come back to neutral. Again, I almost always do shoulder rolls in between just because that's where I keep all of my tension. The last thing I'm going to do, or the next to last thing I'm going to do, we're going to do a quick stretch over the head, kind of awaken these intercostal muscles, our abdominal muscles, those muscles that we need for good breast support. I'm going to do a stretch over the other side of my head. And then lastly, I'm going to go right to where my jaw hinges. So what I tell people to do is take your fingers and put them on your top jaw so you can kind of feel the top of where your teeth are, your bottom jaw. You're going to walk them back and it's where they meet. So kind of if you were in a biology lab and you saw the skeleton, right where your jaw hinges. And some targeted jaw massage can be fantastic. Again, jaw tension is something that a lot of us deal with. It really impacts singers in a very negative way. We need this to be nice and loose. And again, I'm not a big jaw tension person generally, but here lately I have noticed I have a whole lot more. So I spend a lot of time targeting those muscles at my jaw as well. So I hope you all found this tip helpful. Take some time, stretch before you sing, stretch after you sing, stretch if you're not singing at all. Let's give ourselves a break mentally and physically. If you like this tip, please hit like, please hit subscribe, please come back often.